This is Josiah Plays Sunless Sea. Alright, so this is a game that was kickstarted. It's brought to you by Failbetter Games, who are responsible for the online sort of text-based game called Fallen London, which is a really cool game that you can play in your browser. And in there, they've created this whole setting for this game, Fallen London, and they brought that setting into this a proper game, standalone game called Sunless Sea. Apparently, the world has been brought underground. The city of London and other places have been brought underground, and you're sailing around in these oceans with just a cavern above them, so there's no sky and there's no sun, and that's why it's called Sunless Sea. And it's like this really weird, sort of grim, dark, Lovecraftian, Cthulhu-esque kind of setting. And this apparently has a lot of really good writing, humor, and just general strangeness to it. So I've been wanting to check it out, so now I'm going to. This is being done as a one-shot video, but there will probably be multiple videos of this, all as one-shots. This is not promised to be a full playthrough of this game. If I end up loving it and I end up playing it a whole bunch, it might turn into a full playthrough, but for now this is just going to be a small series of one-shots to take a look at this game. So let's start it up, shall we? Are you sure? I think I am. If your crew reaches 0, you too are dead. Okay, so here we are. We're in port at Fallen London, and this is our journal thing. It says, Captain's Making. 3 decades ago, in the reign of Victoria, London was stolen by bats. Now it lies a mile below the surface. It was dreadfully inconvenient for everyone, but it opened a vast black ocean to you. Welcome to the Unterzee. So first I will choose a past, decide who you were and what you want to be. You now lodge in a room above the blind helmsman. Now you're a captain. Now you belong to the Unterzee. But who were you before? And I have some options here. I could be a street urchin, a poet, a veteran of the campaign of '68, an ordained priest, or a natural philosopher. Your urchin gang cast you out when you grew too tall. You took to sea rather than graduate to larger crimes. That last big score was enough to buy a ship. This will give you a bonus to Veils, the skill of subtlety and evasion. I like the sound of street urchin a lot. A poet. Educated and articulate, you seek sensation at sea. How lucky you had a legacy to spend. Your long-vanished father had a rich patron, it seems. This will give you a bonus to Pages, the skill of trickery and knowledge. Sounds pretty good, too. Veteran of the campaign of '68. You fought in the invasion of hell. London's armies lost. You survived. Your loot and your pension have bought you a command. This will give you a bonus to Iron, the skill of causing direct damage. An ordained priest. You fell from grace. There is nothing left ashore for you. An anonymous benefactor has found this way out for you. Perhaps at Z, you can overcome your appetites. This will give you a bonus to Hearts, the skill of healing and morale. Or a natural philosopher. Your peculiar theories on time, blood, and starlight brought you down to the Neath, the cavern where London lies. And now they take you out to Z. This will give you a bonus to Mirrors, the skill of detection and perception. Well, I can't really pass up the opportunity to be a philosopher, since I sort of style myself a bit of a philosopher in real life. Philosopher meaning lover of wisdom. And I do love me some wisdom. So I'm going to choose to be a natural philosopher who has become a captain. Your peculiar theories on time, blood, and starlight brought you down to the Neath, the cavern where London lies, and now they take you out to Z. I have a bonus to Mirrors, the skill of detection and perception. That sounds useful. Your acquaintance, the plausible surgeon, plausible surgeon, nice, will serve as ship's doctor until you find someone better. Talk to him to find out why he went to Z, and that would be this guy up here, the plausible surgeon. He probably won't saw the wrong limb off. And he gives me pages +1, hearts +1, and a doctor aboard +1. I've gained 25 mirrors. New total is 50. These are my stats here. Hearts, Inspire, Heal, Defend, sometimes helps with tests around terror. I have 27. Veils, Speed, Stealth, and Deception. Decreases the range at which enemies will spot you. I have 25 of those. Pages, 26. Esoteric and occasionally Practical Knowledge. Increases the speed at which you convert fragments to secrets. Hello, Misergeist. How are you? Good to see you. What's up, man? What's up, man and or woman and or none of the above? Mirrors 50. This is the one that I have a lot of. Detection and Perception. The higher your mirrors, the quicker you can find a firing solution in combat. That sounds useful. Iron, 25. Destroy. Increases the damage your attacks do. So you've got hiding from enemies, quick firing solution, straight up damage, convert fragments to secrets, and helps with terror and healing. All of mine are about the same, except for my mirrors, which is really high. And then crew, I have 8 out of 10. How many Zailers do you have aboard? Miser Guy says, if you need any advice, I know this game pretty well. Oh, cool. You've played this one quite a bit? This is my first time. Well, I mean, I jumped into it, played it for like 10 minutes just to test my sound settings and everything, and test recording to make sure it worked. But basically, this is my very first time. You're a guy, pretty tired, been spending the day with your beautiful lady, just took her to work. She's got a pretty brutal night shift. She's a nurse, so proud of her. That's awesome. Nurses are awesome. That's a hard job, but an extremely necessary one. We do not have enough nurses, that's for sure. I have a plausible surgeon. I've gained 20 echoes. New total 70. I believe echoes, that's what it says. Echoes are the currency of the bazaar, and thus the currency of London. You were a natural philosopher, now you're a Z captain. No one was born a Z captain. Your a stranger quality is gone. Welcome to the world. Alright. Choose an ambition. What does winning mean to you? So I believe this will be my win condition, essentially, to beat the game. I could be looking for my father's bones. Your father was lost at Z. You never knew him, but you've often dreamed of him. Find and return his remains to London for a decent burial. Fulfillment. Gather 100 tales. Learn all you can of the Z. Write a masterpiece. Retire. Wealth. You know how it is to be poor. Now you want a mansion, servants, fine clothes, a family perhaps. Or a private kingdom. Establish a colony where you're the absolute ruler. A utopia perhaps. Perhaps. You can't choose this now, but you may find an opportunity to switch to it later in game. Well, out of these, fitting with my philosopher nature, I'm going to choose fulfillment. Miser Guys tells me the private kingdom, if you complete a specific quest, you can have this in your next games. Okay, cool. Going for fulfillment. Whenever you return to Fallen London, you have the option of retiring, but you'll need to write your masterwork first. An occurrence. Your objective ambition quality has now become London's most venerated explorer. How do you want it all to end? This determines how you win, though you can always just retire in London for a draw. A last scrap of paperwork. Captain, an irregularity with the Harbor Master's office. They wish to know, what term of address do you prefer ashore? This will determine what people call your captain, but your captain's gender is up to you. Madam, more Z captains choose this than you might expect. Sir, citizen, a term of address popular among those of egalitarian sentiments. My lord, perhaps you really do come from a noble family, who's to know? My lady, perhaps you really do come, yeah, same thing. Captain will do perfectly well ashore as well as at sea, thank you. I'm gonna go with captain. Captain it is. A last piece of advice. Explore. Take chances. This captain will probably die. The Z is hungry. But each captain passes on lessons to the next. Who are you? Your addressed as quality is now captain. Alright. Choose my name. And my little picture here. Some of these are pretty cool looking. I like that one that's writing. I'll probably make my captain a female philosopher. That one's got a glass of wine. I think I'll go with this one, the scholarly looking one. And the captain's name will be Kate with a C, after the real life female philosopher, one of my best friends of all time. Okay, here we are. We're in Fallen London. Fallen London! Deep, dark, and marvelous. All voyage start here, and this is where successful voyages end. I was just playing Fallen London, the browser game, just a few minutes ago. It's pretty cool. So let's read the advice for captains. The much-lamented M. de Meaux found a watery grave long, long ago. Probably your end will be no better, but if you read this book of invaluable advice, your chances will improve. On endings and beginnings. Captains often die. This is not the end. When you die, you'll learn lessons which will help you survive next time. Beware, the layout of the Unterzee changes with each new captain. But home waters are stable, and islands will only move so far. Miser Guy says, you know the universe well, never played the browser game. Don't know if it is. I've actually only been playing the browser game for 2 days, so I don't know it well at all. I'm just beginning to discover it. But it's pretty interesting. It's a pretty cool universe and lore. It's got like Cthulhu stuff and like devils and all kinds of crazy, like really bizarre stuff going on. Alright, so when my captain dies, I get to start a new one. Legacies. Future captains can inherit some skills, officers, equipment, and money. Over time, you'll find extra items and advantages that allow you to preserve a greater inheritance. So in this sense, it's like a roguelike, sort of. It's expected that your characters are going to die. On exploration. Exploration is the heart of the game. Risk brings reward. Staying close to London is safe, but eventually you'll run out of fuel and supplies. Exploring and playing port stories will allow you to find secrets and echoes. Miser Guy says, yeah, I like the fact that hell has a civil war and there's a Marxist sort of revolution going on with aristocrat devils and proletariat devils. Yeah, that's pretty awesome. Spending secrets and echoes. Speak to your officers to spend secrets on improving your abilities. Spend echoes on equipment in ports. You can often find officers in London. And London is where we are. Started off here on Mercy. Unforgiving mode is how the game is meant to be played. One autosave, updated whenever you reach port and wiped on death. If you're getting frustrated or want a more leisurely exploration, you can switch to Merciful mode. Merciful mode. Saving or loading manually will permanently switch your character to Merciful mode. This will remove the Invictus token. Completing a game with the Invictus token intact is a badge of honor. Now here's the deal. I'm pretty bad at roguelikes. And in general, I don't really care for them all that much. I will probably end up playing on Merciful mode and kind of wuss out and just use manual saves, as I would in a different kind of game. For my first time. On machines. Your prow lamp dispels darkness, reduces terror increase, allows you to find Z marks. Your engines, of course, drive the ship forward into the night. Miser Guy says, I'd play Merciful mode. There's so many obscure ways you can die here. This game is brutal, honestly. Yeah, okay, so Merciful mode seems like the mode for me. I'm not trying to prove anything. Both your prow lamp and your engines use fuel. More powerful engines use more fuel, but all lamps use fuel at the same rate. Try not to run out of fuel. Note that the Admiralty will compensate you with fuel for port reports. Here's my fuel up here. Engine temperature is 0 degrees. I have 10 fuel barrels. 0% fuel remaining in barrel. Here's my supplies. Or supplies is 5, hunger is 0. So my people eat over time, and I use fuel up over time, and I have to replenish those things. Terror, and I guess they get more afraid as we go along. You're far from light or hope. Terror is increasing rapidly. My hull strength, 75 out of 75. My hold capacity, 15 out of 40. So all of this different stuff is tracked. I don't know what these -2, -1, 0. I don't know what this thing up here is. Let's see about finding places to explore. Use your Z-Bat Scout. Technically it's a Chiropteroscope, but we're among friends here. Z-Bat? Press Z, or click the Z-Bat button at the bottom of the screen, and it'll tell you where the nearest undiscovered island is. Be warned, if you're moving, it will give less accurate directions. Pause to get the most accurate reading. On fighting. When your enemy is in the arc of your guns, you'll see the firing solution. The glow around the fire buttons increase. When it's complete, let them have it. You can fire earlier if you like, but may miss. Larger ships may have access to different gun slots. Avoiding enemy attacks. A green glow means your enemy is in the light. Enemy ships also have an arc on their guns. Try to stay out of their way. Enemy Z-Beasts will generally try to ram or bite you, and they'll submerge between times to avoid your attacks. If you're careful and turn your lights off, you may also be able to sneak up behind him and get a shot in first. Alright. On stories. When you put into port, you can generally explore and exhaust the story options until your next visit. Something awaits you. If you have the something awaits you quality when it's Z, you know that more story is waiting for you when you make port. It'll crop up whenever you're sailing around. If you see a flavor message like Distant Bells, that means you have something awaits. On terror. Terror increases gradually over time while you're out at Z, away from land. Watch the skull. When you see orange or red pips, terror will bump up if you spend much longer in the frightening place. Many events will increase it too. How do I reduce it? Use shore leave in London, or in other ports, but London is most cost-effective, to reduce it. Lots and lots of other stories increase or reduce terror. On news stories. We'll add new stories to the game from time to time. You can download them from the main menu. Registering on Fallen London. Yeah, I already did this. Sell this book. You're a veteran captain and require no more advice? Very well then. I think I can sell it. Sold. Someone else will better appreciate M. Demo's work. You no longer have the book, but I have 50 echoes. Now I have 120 total. That's nice. Okay, we've read all about the, how to play, basically. Miser Guy says, say events or something awaits you at port is very useful. It allows you to do certain things at ports, so if a specific port requires a say event, something awaits you, S-A-Y, okay. You can just cut your engines and wait for a say event to pop up. Ah, okay. Good to know. Good to know. Alright, what can I do at my lodgings? Here I may catch up with my correspondence, rest, or retire altogether from seafaring life. The better your lodgings, the better the quality of your retirement, naturally. I can read the morning papers. The Unexpurgated Gazette, the magazine formerly known as the London Magazine, the Spiteful Trumpeter, news. Alright. I notice I'm getting a saving game thing over here as I do some of this stuff. Let's see, news from home. The Echo Bazaar, that enigmatic marketplace, has increased its tax on love stories. The traitor empress has forbidden singing in the street outside her palace. The anarchists of the Calendar Council have inexplicably dynamited a drinking fountain. The Ministry of Public Decency has located and destroyed a nest of gallbladder wasps. See, I think you can see how kind of strange and unusual the setting is. And now I have one of this, recent news. Outlying colonies are often eager for this. You can't collect more than one recent news at a time. So I can take that news to another port, and they'll be interested to have it. Miser Guy says, I think the tutorial doesn't make a lot of things clear about this game, so thought you might need some clarification. Not to say you're stupid or anything, don't take it the wrong way. This game can just be a bit esoteric with its mechanics. Yeah, no, that's fine. I appreciate any additional clarification or advice. I like to read all the stuff and learn as much as I can before I jump into something. Visit your study. I can't do that because once your lodgings are large enough to support a study, you can create items such as an ironclad whale, a whispering trophy cabinet, or the Zong of the Z, but my lodgings are not long enough. Apparently I need to have an elegant townhouse or a Z-side mansion. Rest in a room above the blind helmsman. If you don't have the echoes to go out roistering, best stay at home. This will reduce your terror, heal a wound, and give you a restful night. But I have to have 10 echoes, and I have to have terror 1, so I can't do that. Purchase an elegant townhouse, a good address on Hollow Street, it won't be cheap, and I have to have 1,000 echoes, so I won't be able to do that anytime soon. Consider retirement from Seafaring Life. This allows you to review options which will end the game. You can safely scrutinize them without choosing one. Of course, I don't want to end the game yet, and I have to have a better house before I can do that anyway. Back to the rest of the city. You can click on the London card on the right. Alright. So that's all at our lodgings. And now London itself. She's the greatest city on the Unterzee. And don't you forget it. Visit the Admiralty's survey office. They'll pay for information from Z captains. Find out what and how. Alright, let's do it. Nice little picture there of a formal letter. The Admiralty's picket, fleets, and intelligence networks are long gone. The survey office pays Z captains a small sum for recent information. Visit and investigate ports to gain port reports and trade them in here. The first time you trade in a port report, you'll gain Admiralty's favor. Ask if there's anything in particular they need. Well, if we can be assured of your discretion. This port, speak to our agent there in return. We'll see that you're rewarded. Visit the port below and return to London. You can check the details in your journal at any time. Retrieve strategic information from Gator's Mourn in the Corsair's Forest, somewhere not far from home waters. Okay, so I gotta go find that place. Oh, Misergeist, you're from the UK? Physically been to London? I've been to London a couple times. I love London. It's too noisy for you? You're from a small village? That's cool. Camden Town is cool. It's like an alternative arts district. Food from loads of different countries. Yeah, I visited Camden very briefly. I loved London. I would completely live there if I could afford to live there. Asked to speak to a higher authority. Do you have an appointment? Not as such. Once you've proven yourself, perhaps. Survey 3 ports in return to win the Admiralty's approval. You don't have anything else for us? Nope. Done. Out into the foggy street. Turn your collar up. Alright, visit the university. Looks like something I can't do right now. What do I need to do? I have to have a secret. Carouse in the Wolfstack docks. Reduce your terror. I need to have another day, a free evening, so I can't do this yet. Hire on more crew. Sensible sailors are looking for a safe run to the tomb colonies, or at least a sane run to the southern archipelago. You need to buy drinks, spread around hiring fees. Look for daredevils. It's a low-risk challenge. Your heart's quality gives you an 81% chance of success. Alright, and it costs 30 echoes. I've got 8 out of 10. I guess I could get another, Rich pickings. Your tall tales find a ready audience. Scarred and seasoned men and women tramp aboard and find places to sling hammocks. I gained 3 crew, but I'm only allowed to have 10 on the ship that I've got, I guess, so I'm maxed out at 10. Master Guy says I'm quite chatty with streamers, so you might want to get a Twitch chat overlay so you don't have to keep saying my name. Yeah, I don't really like chat overlays, though. I don't like having other stuff on the screen besides the actual game. Because I record these for YouTube videos as well, and I think they look better without like overlays and stuff. Alright. I spent 30 echoes and I maxed out my crew. Fine. Put your ship in dry dock for repairs or sometimes other purposes. I don't need to do that right now. Offer passage to a tomb colonist. An immigrant will pay to be taken north to Venderbite. Alright, sure. It's oddly difficult to die in fallen London, but when a Londoner is too tatty and wretched to live, they wrap themselves in bandages and take ship for the tomb colonies. Your crew cart these ones aboard in padded coffins. They'll sleep there until the journey is done. The tomb colonist is in your hold. Take them north to the colony of Venderbite and sell them there. I'm selling somebody. Just what precisely is their problem? Tomb colonists. Technically passengers rather than goods, but you'd never know what to talk to them. They'll pay their passage to the tomb colony, sell them there. So now my whole capacity is 16 out of 40. Alright. And a new recruit who awaits your attention. I do not have a new recruit. so I cannot do anything with that. Okay, so now I've explored all of the basic stuff I can do in London. Let's take a look around the rest of the interface and these other tabs and stuff. So what's in my hold? This is my ship, the Coromandel. Click to rename your ship. I'm going to rename my ship the Wisdom. Because, you know, I'm a philosopher. Love me some wisdom. Let's see, I've got a deck gun that does a little bit of damage. Life damage, hull damage. +4 bonus from Iron Stat. 1 crew loss each hit if opponent's below 50% hull. It has a 4-second warm-up time. I don't have a forward and aft guns. I do have a lead beater and stain rod reconditioned frigate surplus deck gun Mark II. This way up. A weapon which may serve against small monsters or feeble pirates. New recruit, for example, is an event that requires SAY. Okay. Cool. That's how you get more officers, right? Like right now I only have 1 officer and all these other ones are just blank. You get those from like recruits or... Okay, I have nothing auxiliary, nothing aft, nothing forward, nothing on the bridge. My engines are elderly steeple engines. A battered, rusting mechanism that will ensure your ship goes in more or less the correct direction. So I get the feeling that my ship is a piece of crap right now. Get that feeling. What do I have? I have 10 fuel. Coal dug from Z cliffs or imported from hell. If you run out of fuel, you will drift helplessly. I've got supplies, food and equipment. If you run out of supplies, hunger will eventually destroy you. I have 5 supplies, 10 fuel, and I have a tomb colonist. Curiosities, echoes, I have 90 of them. Invictus token. I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul. That's from the poem called Invictus. That is actually my wallpaper on my desktop on my computer. I have that poem on my wallpaper. It's a really good poem. You're in unforgiving mode with no save slots besides a basic autosave. You will lose this token if you switch from unforgiving to merciful. Yeah, I'm going to lose that token then. Whisper-locked puzzle box. Speak the right phrase, and the tumblers will align and unlock it. But what is the right phrase? The alarming scholar may have some ideas. It cannot be sold. I think I got this from Fallen London, from the browser game. I think I got a box in that game that said it would unlock in Sunless Sea or something. Recent news. Oh yeah. Keeping the light on also reduces terror gain, but it increases fuel consumption, so you may want to turn off your lamp when you're near ports, because when you're near a port, your terror will go up slowly anyway, so it's just a waste of fuel. He said, always recommend you have your crew at max because it reduces terror dramatically. Alright, cool. That's good advice. That's good to know. There's my echoes. Journal. Your journal. Objectives and story progress are on the right-hand side. Mouse over an icon or click on the category heading to see details. Its accomplishments. Mariner. You know something of the Unterzee. Journal. Memoirs. Oh, I see. If I click on these, it gives me the full text. Quality of lodgings. A room above the blind helmsman. Where do you hang your hat in London? Right, we know about our past. Ambition. We know about our ambition. We know about the Admiralty Commission, the tomb colonists. I don't know what almost safe means, but I guess it means that I'm in a place where I don't have to worry about dying. Officers. Left click and drag to assign officers, or right click to speak to them. Assigned officers give ability bonuses. So I have no first officer, no cook, no chief engineer, no gunnery officer. I do have a mascot, and he is a comatose ferret. Mostly. It's immobile. Occasionally, it's feral. Alright, it gives me +1 to my heart score. Right click to speak to my mascot. It lies across your desk like a lumpy scarf, and there it is. It looks pretty lazy. Play with your ferret. Attract its attention. A weary roll of the eye. Play, that eye roll says. Play. I played once, in the happy warrens of London, before you installed me in this floating coffin and made me eat dried food. Damn your play. It is an eloquent eye roll. Right, I like the writing in this game already. It's good. Alright, so my ferret's not exactly thrilled to be here. And I have my surgeon. My plausible surgeon. He probably won't saw the wrong limb off. He looks like a surly individual.
Hello, my dear, my dear. Sit down carefully. Just let me tidy away these implements. We don't want any carelessness, do we?
I can increase my pages.
Oh, ho, ho! We'd like to talk about secrets, would we? Secrets are my very favorite.
Spending a secret will improve your pages, but no higher than 50. I do not have any secrets. Okay. Ask after his desires and ambitions. Start to realize even on long voyages that supplies and fuel is really hard to get sometimes. The game is all about optimizing trade routes to get the most echoes, so if you're a good trader, you'll be okay. So you have to find stuff you can buy in one port that sells for more in another port and take it there, and that's kind of what you mean by trading, right? Ask after his desires and ambitions. He's traveled much, seen all manner of wound and malady, but is there anything left for him to discover? Any place he wishes to go?
The Chelonate! You know it? They collect corpses.
He shifts in his seat.
Vast, noble, overcomplicated...
I just added a word there.
Complicated corpses. What I could learn, what I could see... My dearest Captain, if we ever find ourselves in the Chelonate, I do hope you might see fit to release me from our arrangement.
The Chelonate can be found somewhere in the far east of the Unterzee, so this is where he wants to go. This is basically his quest. If we get to that place, I can drop him off there, and presumably something good will happen. Alright, then there's shops. Here you can buy fuel, supplies, ship equipment, and trade goods. Shops are displayed on the left. Click on one to see its wares. Alright, so there's a bunch of different shops here. And they have a bunch of different things for sale. So I am not going to read all the stuff about all the shops and all of the items right now. Not just that, but grabbing port reports from the different ports and taking specific curiosities like your recent news to certain ports for the best rewards. Because some items or curiosities reward you with more depending on which port you take them, and others which aren't as good. Oh. Okay. Sounds pretty complicated. Multitude's House of Vision. Multitude's political convictions may be suspect, but his ship's lights are reliably excellent. So this is just a whole bunch of different lights I could have on my ship if I had the money to buy them. But I don't. Caminus Yards. The dangerously jovial Mr. Fires manufactures the most intimidating, least carefully tested devices. Alright, so he's got some dodgy shit. We are clay. Equips to auxiliary. That seems pretty good. It costs 0. Usable in combat, repairs damage instantly, so it's like a healing potion for your ship. I mean, as you can see, I can't even begin to afford most of this stuff. Most of these things they equip to your ship or whatever. Roaring beast of an engine. Engine power plus 3,500. Be as frugal as possible. Okay, that's good to know. Should I get these clay guys? We will work. We will only work. This trio of clay stokers will reduce crew requirements, but also crew capacity. And will slightly increase engine power. They're fitted with an auxiliary slot. When they're not in use, they will stand patiently, hands by their sides, flat gray eyes unreadable. One will say, sometimes, I like it when it is quiet. Are these worth getting? So, quarters minus 3, does that mean that I'll only have a crew of 7 if I bought these? That seems bad. So maybe we'll just not get those at this point. Caro's Navy surplus. Mr. Caro's found a use for the equipment once sold to the sadly reduced Royal Navy. So he's got some other stuff that you can use in sea combat. Lots of different weapons and so forth for, again, a bunch of stuff I can't afford. Oh, you can't buy it. you can just sell it here for 300 if you had them got them from somewhere else, but you can't buy them here. Okay, that's why the price is 0. Good call. That makes more sense. Mrs. Plenty's Shipside Provisioners, a profitable sideline for the notorious carnival entrepreneurs. Alright, so I can buy... Solace Fruit is probably a... Oh no, I can't buy that either. This is something they want to buy here, right? So if I find Solace Fruit somewhere else, I can bring it back here and sell it for 50. That's like something I should keep in mind. Advice for captains, I've already read that. So should I buy some extra fuel and supplies right now, or am I good with what I've got? A flare can be used to reveal your enemies. Foxfire candles. We've all made mistakes, so only those mistakes can be left in the dark. I don't know what candles are for. Yep, what? Wolfstack Exchange. It is difficult for a small trader to turn a profit buying at bulk prices. Look for other opportunities. Okay, so these are like trade goods. Oh, these are things that they want to buy here, right? I can't buy any of these things. But I could sell them here for these prices. Of course, I don't know how I would remember all of this. Like what I could sell here and how much it would be worth. Oh, and this is the stuff that I can buy here that I could take and sell somewhere else. Crate of human souls. Yeah. Okay. Alright, so I don't think I'm going to buy any of this right now. Oh, yep, there are certain items that they want. The Iron and Misery Company. More powerful engines consume more fuel, but increase speed, essential for large slow ship. Okay, so here's a bunch of awesome engines and stuff that I could get for my ship, but obviously I can't afford them. This is the one I have, the Elderly Steeple engine, right? So, okay, so I don't think I'm going to buy anything right now, except unless I bought some more fuel and supplies. What's the max supplies you can have, and what's the max fuel you can have? Takes a while, but you'll also realize where the best places to get supplies and fuel is. So here it costs 10 for fuel and 20 for supplies. Oh, and here I can buy whole new ships. This is my ship. And here's, oh man, a bunch of different kinds of ships, and obviously they're very expensive. 30,000 echoes, 15,000. This is a crappy little ship. It only costs 500. It's like less good than the one I've got. Wisdom, yeah, a Legia class steamer is what I have. So I guess the next best one is this one, which has less hull, less hold, less quarters for crew, less iron, but it's a little bit sneakier. I don't think I would buy that ship. As guy says, okay, so if you see where it says hull, there's a little gray bit just above which displays your hull health. Yeah, I see the hull health, and there it shows my hold capacity. That's how much cargo I'm carrying. Yeah, 16 out of 40, right. What is this part with the -2, -1, 0, 1, 2? What is that part, Miser? Anyway, so I can't even remotely begin to think about buying another ship at this point, but there they are. So there's lots of stuff to buy. I think maybe I should save my money right now so I could buy trade goods at another port to bring back to sell or whatever to make money. So I think we're done here. We can close this down. Click the launch button to leave port. Launch button here, it's E to launch. There's my ship. Anything else I need to... There's a logbook, doesn't say anything yet. Z-Bat is Z. Toggle lights, L. Repair ship, if hull is 50% or better, R. Full power to the engines, F. Pause. Okay, so now the game is paused. Engine temperature 200 degrees. 9 fuel barrels, 100% fuel remaining, 15 hunger. Open up the gazetteer. I guess that also pauses the game while I have this open. That's how fast you go. 2 top speed, -2 top reverse speed. Oh, that's how fast you're going. Okay. Having less crew can cap your speed to 1 and -1, so that's another reason why you should keep it at max. Got it. Chart. Oh, here's the map. Okay. Oh, man. It looks like it's a big map. Here we are. Fallen London, and everything else is just black. And, of course, the regular menu. I'm going to switch to Merciful right now. That's the tiniest text anyone's ever seen. Unforgiving mode, Sunless Sea autosaves whenever you dock and whenever you die. You may switch to Merciful mode and save manually. This will remove your character's Invictus token. Yes. Save number 1 before we even leave dock. Most icons have keyboard shortcuts. Yeah, got it. Alright, I guess I'm ready to go. I'm launching. Finally, 40 minutes into this, we're getting underway. I see. Now I'm at speed 2. I see how the speed thing works. I'm going to turn my lights off. Don't need them here, do I? So let's start by going north because... Well, here's an island. Let's see what we've got over here. Now, there's another ship. Now, I don't know... I have no way of knowing if the ship is hostile or not. Bad Stevener's Abyss. Discovered. I gained 50 fragments. Hunter's Keep. What is this little red thing right here? Is this something I can do something with? Can I, like, stop and do something with this island and mess with that? Or is that just a map marker, essentially? Well, let's check out Hunter's Keep. Discovered Hunter's Keep. So I'm gaining fragments when I discover stuff, and it says I need another 187 fragments to gain a secret. The glassy chop of dark water, the iron clatter of feet at the hatchway. Fed the crew. Okay, so now I only have 4 supplies. That's just detail? Okay. There's nothing I can do with this island, basically. Oh, we got some stuff here. WASD. Tap W twice to reach max speed, tap S to slow down or reverse, and D keys to steer. Got it. Terror. When you see green running lights on the ship, you're in the dark, and your crew's terror will increase. Watch the pips on the terror indicator. It increases faster when you're far from land. Don't let it reach 100. Something awaits you. Oh, there's the SAY thing. I got that already. After a short time at Z, a lamp icon will appear above the logbook. It means that opportunities await you at the next port. Okay, there it is. Something awaits me. Cool. Hunter's Keep. How do I, like, dock and... at this place, this Hunter's Keep? Crowd light can be turned on or off. Leaving it on reduces the rate at which you gain terror, but makes you more visible to enemies. That circle of light is a port. Go there for stories. Oh, it's up there. Okay, got it. We'll go dock here. Visit this port, click the dock button. Alright, I've docked. Hunter's Keep. A quiet isle. A grand old house. A hump of dark rock swathed in mist like 100 other Unterzee islands. But here's a grand house. Windows aglow. Lawns impossibly green and lush in the false starlight. Raked gravel paths. You stand on the dock as the sea nudges the ship's sides. An unexpectedly warm breeze carries the faintest trace of lavender. So I have some options. I can present myself at the house. I can walk in the gardens. I can reconnoiter the island. Or I can spy on the house. I think I should reconnoiter the island first. Plunging cliffs, soft green lawns, a well tucked away in a fold of the grounds. Anything else? The sea's silence. Ships rarely come here. Nothing changes, even the weather. The house is the heart of the isle. The house and the sisters. But the Admiralty may be happy to know that nothing's changed at least. I now have a port report for Hunter's Keep. Okay, so I can take that back to the Admiralty in London. It's an odd place, best to keep an eye on it. Alright, next. Maybe I should spy on the house before I go to the house. Veil's quality gives you a 75% chance of success. Yeah, let's try it. Spy on the house. This place may not be as simple as it seems. Piano music drifts across the terrace. You peer through a half-open French window into a grand parlor. Grand in size, if a little reduced in style by dust and neglect. A dark-haired, pale-skinned young woman bends earnestly over a piano keyboard. Another, fair-haired but unmistakably her sister, sprawls on the sofa with a book. A third sits by the fireplace, staring sorrowfully into the embers. Soon, she says, and the piano music falters and stops. We'll go hungry, and then the end will come. For me, but not for you. The pianist raises her eyes from the keyboard. Hush, if we don't speak of it. She frowns. Has she seen you at the window? You withdraw. I've gained 40 fragments. I know something of Hunter's Keep. Been known to visit the Three Sisters of Hunter's Keep. Fragments are a scrap of lore. Discover monsters and locations to gain fragments. Gain enough fragments and they'll combine into a secret. Okay, and that's what this thing is. Succeeded in a Veils challenge. Yay. Now my only option is to actually present myself at the house, so I'm going to. They will have heard your ship come in. Why hide? Should I be saving? I wonder if there's a... How about options, key binding? Is there a quick save button? No, there is not. Oops. I didn't realize I could move this. Maybe I can't move it. It moved a second ago. Okay. Let's go present ourselves to the Three Sisters. Knock and enter. A maid with smoldering topaz eyes shows you into the parlor where 3 young women wait. A visitor, the youngest cries. The next youngest chuckles. The eldest sighs. Do excuse the indecorum, she says. Visitors are rare. You are very welcome. I am Cynthia. The noisy one is Phoebe. The cheerful one is Lucy. You are in good time for lunch. Will you join us? Where is everyone? Where did they go? They're here, and you're not alone. You'll find a story when you next make port. You receive this from time to time as you travel to Z. I'm acquainted with the Sisters of Hunter's Keep. I have 4 options. Luncheon with the sisters. I can lunch with Cynthia. She's the eldest. Melancholy, pensive, occasionally dramatic. The middle sister, Lucy, sunny, restless, and prone to giggles. Or the, I guess, youngest sister, Phoebe, soft-voiced, watchful, and unpredictable. News. Even when the sisters aren't feeling sociable, they can be tempted out of their lair by the smell of news stories. Oh, that's only when I don't have something await me. I can do that. Okay. Well, let's talk to Phoebe, the watchful and unpredictable sister. Here's a story, it says. Just straight up, here's a story. Have a story. Phoebe has a story to tell. Of 2 lovers parted by water. Of a raven that carried messages. Of a fragment of the moon. She beats time on the table as she speaks, as if to a song only she can hear. The effect is hypnotic. Your attention drifts out through the skylight of the dining room to the false stars glittering in the roof of the cavern. You drift like a puffball spore. The Unterzee shimmers below. Islands lie like mineral specimens on black velvet. Ships bob like wood chips between the islands. Vast spined things pulse in the depths. There is a scent like the scent before a storm. Well, that's pretty cool. The storm came, says Phoebe quietly. Everything changed. Somewhere in there, you finished the last course. The scowling maid reluctantly serves cheese and Bath Oliver biscuits. I lost 2 terror, now I have 0 terror, serene. I lost 15 hunger. Now, so I fed and I got unafraid, that's cool. An occurrence, your gods of the Z, Storm's attention quality is now... An ancient anger knows you. So I guess I know something about the god, Storm. No new fragments. I now have 1 memory of distant shores. At the university and in the tomb colonies, they'll pay well for stories of far lands. That's all for now. I gained a supplies. That's nice. And I'm acquainted with the Sisters of Hunter's Keep. Alright. Cool. Let's, So after this, the parlor is empty. Where are the sisters? The maid makes it clear, through a series of unwelcoming growls, that Phoebe, Lucy, and Cynthia are all 3 indisposed. No lunch today, apparently. So that... But now I can do news. Even when the sisters aren't feeling sociable, they can be tempted out of their lair by the smell of new stories. Because I have recent news. Let's try it. Knock and wait. You ask the sulphur-eyed maid to carry a few hints of your news to the sisters. Oddly enough, she comes back with a message that their headaches are cured, and you're invited to lunch. Probably didn't... Maybe shouldn't have done that yet, but... This time we'll have lunch with Lucy, the middle sister. Sunny, restless, and prone to giggles. She tells us a daft tale. Is that like Daft Punk? Lucy leans over and whispers to you confidentially. A complex story about a butler, a pig, and an inheritance. You don't follow all the details of the plot, but somehow the pig ends up in an attic, and the butler in a vicar's bed. Candles flicker, dishes enter and leave, and the wind butts gently at the window panes. By the time the plum pudding arrives, you're as cheerful as you've been in months. So, I didn't get a new memory of Distant Shores. I now have Gods of the Z Stone's attention. Stone's attention, it's very far away, but perhaps it's watching you. I gained another supplies, which is nice. And that's all for now. Okay, I think I can't do anything else here. I don't have recent news. Alright, I think I am done at Hunter's Keep. Is there... There's no shops here either. And no shipyard. So... I don't think I can... How do I know if it's... Okay. Let's just checking the pausing business. Alright, well, I think we're done here. I'm going to head out and keep exploring, but that is going to be in our next episode. Thank you for watching. This has been Josiah Plays Sunless Sea.